Welcome to Create a Resume with Google Docs. First, let's talk about why you need a resume. Most people think that the purpose of the resume is to get them the job. But let's back up a step. The purpose of a resume is to land an interview. You want to show an employer you have the skills and experience, and that will earn you an interview. In the interview, that is the opportunity for you to land the job. Your resume will communicate your potential to employers and revolve around your work experience, education, and job qualifications. You want to show that you have growth potential and that you have grown in the past, adding new skills and new experiences. Expect to expand on your resume in the interview. So you really need to own this document. You need to be comfortable with everything that is on it and know that the information is accurate, especially when it comes to past employment. You can always ask a librarian for more help with your resume. Send an email to gbplweb@gailborden.info or give us a call at 847-429-4680 to schedule a phone or in-person appointment. Remember, librarians cannot fill out your job applications for you or write your resume, and we can't tell you exactly what to write on your resume. We can help guide you to the correct resources and give you feedback about formatting, such as capitalization and indenting and font. We can also help you export your resume to the correct format so it's ready to send to employers. You should know that the library website has a specific section just for job hunters and about careers and expanding your education. Visit gailborden.info/learn/job-career for more information and resources such as resume templates and review, local resources such as the Employment Office and Illinois WorkNet, and career resources that will help you learn about what your next move should be. The library also has plenty of books and eBooks. Use the catalog at gailborden.info to place holds or see what's available on the shelf at the moment. The middle title here, Unbeatable Resumes, is an ebook that's always available through the Hoopla app. Don't forget to focus on more than just your resume. You should have a good understanding of what a job search entails, how to conduct yourself in an interview, and information about a potential career path. Before you get started with your resume, you need to get organized. First, gather information that you're going to need for your resume. You want to put together all your information about your work history, including dates of employment, and then company address, phone number. And you may even need your supervisor's name for a future job application. Once you've pulled this together for your resume, keep it handy. Often applications ask for more information when you actually apply for the job. You'll want to also include your training history and graduation dates. This isn't just the degree you've earned, such as your high school diploma or perhaps an associate's degree. Take note of any certificates or other training, such as CPR or forklift. And finally, your skills section. You've definitely earned skills over your lifetime. You just have to sit down and figure out a way to word those so it makes sense on your resume. Many skills are transferable between jobs, and those are especially the ones you will want to highlight. Next, let's talk about the parts of a resume. The top of your resume always includes the header. This is your contact information, your name, address, phone number, email. You may also want to include a link to your LinkedIn profile if you have one. Next is a summary. This section is optional. Typically, it lists a goal or it's a quick summary of skills It's a good space to highlight your strengths and can add some length to your resume, but you only want to include this section if it is well written. Don't simply state that your goal is to get a job. If you're submitting a resume, we all know that you want a job. The next 3 sections are interchangeable depending on the type of resume formatting you choose. We have experience, which is your job history, skills, and then education. Be sure to include any anticipated completion dates for your education, such as if you're completing an associate's degree with Elgin Community College and you expect to finish next year, go ahead and write next year's date in there. Next, let's talk about 2 different resume formats a little bit more in detail. The chronological resume is the most common type of resume. It's a very traditional style with the experience up at the top. Your job history is important because it demonstrates what you have been doing with your time. In this example, we don't include months, just years, and that is fine. Sometimes adding months or specific dates can just make your resume look a little bit messy. The chronological resume is a really good way to show that you've had increasing responsibility or increasing skills at each job. The header goes at the top. Next is the summary, which is optional. Then experience, education, and finally your skills list at the bottom. Some people choose to include references at the bottom as well, but most people will end up writing those in on a job application. The functional resume has the same content, it's just in a different format. In this case, experience is moved down closer to the bottom with the education, and the highlights are the skills and abilities. Sometimes the skills and abilities section will even be a little bit longer on a functional resume. This format is best for people who have changed careers or who have gaps in employment. We start with the header and summary, which again is optional, then the skills, experience, and education. Now it's time to talk about how we can use Google Docs to write a resume. You may have used Microsoft Word or another product in the past, but Google Docs is a good free option for anyone who has internet access. You can use Google Docs on a computer or a tablet in order to write your resume. Watch the class created by Gail Borden Public Librarians called Learn to Use Google Docs for more details about tools and formatting. This will give you a good idea of the details, the tools of Google Docs, and get you started with a blank document. You'll want to use your Google email address to log in at docs.google.com. If you don't have a Google address, that is okay. You can register your current email address with Google and use all the Google apps except for the email portion. You should know that Google Docs automatically saves your work as you're typing. Remember, customization is key. We're going to look at a couple of templates, and I will show you how to customize those. And finally, you'll need to export your resume from Google Docs in PDF format before sharing it with a potential employer. Okay, let's go jump into Google Docs now. I'm already logged in at docs.google.com, which you can notice by the fact that my initials here are in the top right. This menu on the left will send you to other Google apps, but today we're going to stay in Docs. This quick menu at the top allows you to start a new document, either blank or a couple of templates are suggested. Click this button to expand the template gallery. You will see we have 5 resume options to choose from. Starting from a template is nice because it helps you get past a blank page and lack of formatting. Choose your format carefully. Some of these will help you just get an idea of how you may want to format your resume. I'm going to choose this last one here, Modern Writer. When I click, the template will load, and then we'll have an option to start adding information. On the left, you can see a summary of what we need to customize. You may find that you need to take out sections, and that is okay too. Remember, the skills section is optional, so you can leave that in or take it out. To take out, we just highlight and hold the mouse button down and then press the delete key on the keyboard. I find by taking out extra sections first, it allows me to see what I need to customize and not miss anything. So we've got experience here at the top, then education, and then awards. I'm actually going to change the awards section. I don't want it to say awards, I want it to say skills. And I will probably change this to a bullet list instead of a paragraph format. HR managers can easily spot a template, especially ones like this, because using Google Docs is pretty common to write a resume. That's why customization is so important. A template isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a great way to get started, but you really do want to customize this document and own it. If I just left the same font and the same color, it could really start to blend in with other resumes that the company is receiving. I want the Human Resources Department to have the impression that I've really spent the time to get quality information down on my resume. And I've even read the job description or job ad very carefully, and I'm going to customize my resume based on what that's asking for. This could mean that I'm going to mention specific skills or highlight certain parts of my job responsibilities. From there, it's pretty simple to make changes. I'm just going to highlight and type. Remember, this is automatically saving. So at the top, you'll see that the last edit was seconds ago, and it's continuing to save my document as I type. So maybe I want to go ahead and start customizing. Well, I'm going to change my name first. Let's change the font. Let's try this one. There we go. We've got a line break in here. That's fine. Be aware that if you're applying to a large corporate entity, line breaks like this can signal the end of your document if your document is put through a special scanner. So if you're applying to smaller companies, it's probably fine because there's a person looking at your document before an automated system does. Again, by highlighting, I've got some options here. I could change it to bold if I think this is too hard to read, italics, underline, text color, and highlight color. Now, I don't really want to do any highlighting on my resume. That can come out messy if someone is printing your resume in black and white. You can end up with these gray marks, making the text difficult to read. So I'm just gonna go ahead and change this color. See how that looks in blue. It's a little bit nicer on the eyes rather than the harsh red, but that's just a personal preference. You should take the time to customize your resume in a way that you're comfortable with and that you like. Remember, this is your document. From there, I can start adding information, the company name and location. The location doesn't have to be the full address of the company. Typically, it's just the city and state, and then the job title. You should plan to have about 3 to 5 bullet points in each section. You may have a little bit more for your current job. If we look at education, again, you can do the school name and the city and state, and you'll want to list the exact degree you earned. This one indicates a dash between the years. So they're wondering, how long did I go to school? Is basically what it's asking for. You don't have to put that you went to earn your bachelor's or your associates for a certain number of years. You can also choose just to put your graduation date. Don't forget to include any anticipated completion. Let's review these tools again as we did in the Google Docs class. You have an undo and redo button, so if you mess something up, just click undo. You can change your font here. Remember to highlight text before changing font. Generally, your resume should be 1 or 2 different fonts, no more than that. It starts to look busy and disorganized. Make sure the font size is large enough so that your resume is easy to read. Limit your use of bold, italics, and underline. Additionally, text color should be limited as well. You shouldn't have different colors and fonts and bold and italics all over your resume. The purpose is to convey the content, not overwhelm the reader with resume style. If you need to add bullet points, you can type the text first and then select it and use the bullet list button, or you can start by using the bullet list button and then type. If you need to indent, for example, let's say I want to indent this date section here. I can use this indent button and easily move that over. Using the indent button is better than pressing the space bar a bunch of times because you know you'll end up with the same indent for each line. So if I increase the indent here, I should do that here and here as well, so it all matches. When you feel like your resume is ready to go, remember, it automatically saves. You will need to export your resume before you send it by email or upload it to a job search website. To do that, I click on File, then Download, and I'm going to choose PDF Document. A box will pop up asking me where I want to save the file. Typically, you'll just save it on your computer, make sure it's in a folder, you know where it is. It's nice to include your name in the name of the file and also the month and year. This will help you keep track and know that your resume is current. If you are currently applying for jobs, you'll want to review your resume every month to make sure it is still up to date. If you have any questions about how to use Google Docs, you can use the Help button here within Google Docs, or get in touch with the librarian at Gail Borden Library for further assistance. Thank you for attending Create a Resume using Google Docs. Please follow up with the librarian if you have any questions. Our email is gbplweb@gailborden.info, and the phone number is 847-429-4680.